326 Division I teams with 13 scholarships per team. Then there are walk-ons. So let's say there's 15 times 326 players playing Division I basketball. In the NBA, there'll be 30 teams with 12 scholarships available, so to speak, to use the college term. That's 360 jobs. Some teams add a few guys on a reserve injury list, so maybe 400 jobs. So 400 out of 4,500 is it's an over 10 to 1, 11 to 1 ratio.
I don't think that the college player has any idea how difficult it is, because all they see is the success stories. I mean, very rarely do they see the guys that just don't make it, and they don't do the math of how many players make it that are trying to make it.
Hi, I'm Robert Johnson. I play for Oregon. I just want to know, how do you put your name in the NBA draft? I started playing basketball when I was in 7th grade. In the back of my mom's house, I would just shoot until it get dark. You know, growing up in Fillmore, that's what you got to do to stay positive out there. You got to stay into something, into sports. So I just play basketball. 9 years later, I'm at University of Oregon, senior in college. And, with all my hard work, the next step for me right now is the NBA. You see it on TV, never think you'd be there. And then when you're in it, you don't really trip off of it. I'm sure that's how they feel. It's like, I was in the Elite 8 last year. I was like, when I got done, I was like, I was in the Elite 8, man. That was crazy. Everybody was like, how was it like? I was just having fun, man. I think the draft would be the same way, man. It would be great if I could get there, man. I just got to take it, just one game at a time, and keep playing as hard as I can the whole season. Hopefully it'll work out, But, this is my last season, so it's the last chance, you know what I mean? So I just hope to capitalize on it and try to make it to the NBA. It's my dream to do it.
I'm on my way up to Oregon to see Robbie. They're playing against Kansas. I want to try to make more games this year because this is his last year. Those are the things that I'm scared of.
We're in the Rose Garden, which is filled to capacity, almost 19,000 people. Largest college basketball crowd in state history in Portland, Oregon, with Clark Kellogg, Kevin Harlan. Great to have you with us. It's hard to call an early December game a big game, Clark, but Johnson inside with the great feed from on time.
We talked about it earlier, and you mentioned how this is the highest they've been rated as a basketball program.
They're trying to scoop it up, and a foul called on Oregon. Johnson just picked up his 5th, leaves with 12 points and 10 rebounds. So a double-double for him. Langford with a 3. Rebound Ridenour, and a big win for the Oregon Ducks. And Oregon gets a little bit of revenge after Kansas beat them last year in the NCAA Midwest Regional Final.
Go, Robbie. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Your mama hungry. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I got about 15 messages. Everybody congratulating me on it. It was cool.
Well, I know they is, because that was a good game. Y'all finally beat them.
Yeah.
Shoot, they got y'all last year, but y'all got them this year. It's on and cracking now.
A lot of scouts there, though.
Sure was, huh?
Probably looking at Red and Jackson. I mean,
shoot, they probably looking at you, too.
Well, hopefully. I showed them something,
Yeah, you did.
Did all right tonight.
You sure did, Robbie. You did excellent.
Well, at least I know Portland was there.
Part of the challenge with any student athlete is to convince them that they can not only be successful out on the playing field, but they can be successful in the classroom. And you're thinking about, gee, if I work real hard out on the basketball court or whatever, I may have that chance to go pro. It's a little harder to go, if I work a little harder in this chemistry class, what are my rewards? Well, actually, in the long run, they're going to be a lot.
Robert is on track to graduate, and that's the most important thing, because that's the guarantee, I think, in any student athlete going to a university. The guarantee is, here's that opportunity to get a degree, to get an education, and that's the thing we push for our kids to get, number one, and have an opportunity to get out of the way.
The support services are available, tutoring and study hall and equipment, that anyone who really makes an effort, who goes to class and tries to complete the academic program that he or she is majoring in, really will get a degree.
I score a touchdown, I'm signing autographs, I get girls jumping in my lap, I'm, you know, the celebrity at the party, I'm everything else. I get a C in chemistry, I don't get a lot of feedback from that. They've been the star, they've been everything. They mostly come in here thinking they're going to be able to play professionally someday. Very few actually do, but I've always said if they're good enough to come in here and play in the Pac-10, they're probably good enough to at least come in and dream the dream.
I don't get to see Rob very much. He has a lot of practices and games and team travels all the time. They have to go to tutors and class, and yeah, it's pretty hard to see him. I don't have that much time. Pretty much on home games and when they have a couple of days off, which doesn't happen very often. So definitely makes it hard to feel like you're in a relationship where you get to see someone like most people get to, so it's been pretty hard, but we make it work.
He looks great.
Yeah, your embouchure.
Your embouchure
looks textbook.
Textbook, yeah.
Yeah, I'd trade you. If I had 20 years more, I'd start with your embouchure.
You're gonna make a lot more money playing the basketball than we ever did playing the football.
We might just play something, you copy it, right? We'll just start that way. All right, see you. So you just have to watch the fingers and, you know, try to have pretty good posture so you could use your air a little bit better. And you just go right after me. We'll just keep on going. Okay, good.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you bet.
Really
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
So next year, you play some pro ball? Is that the plan?
We shall see.
Yeah. Great.
Hopefully.
When do you find out about that stuff?
At the end of the year, I don't worry about it until the end of the year.
Yeah.
So.
You just play your year.
You gotta enjoy the time here.
All right.
All I know right now is I don't want to go back to the city. When I was in high school, I had the opportunity to leave the city and go up north to live with some family friends. It was hard at first to leave my family, but it's just too much bad news down in the city. Up north in Sebastopol, it's a whole nother world. It was nice not having to worry about nothing. You know, everybody up there was hella cool, and I just did my thing. It was such a good situation that I ended up going to Santa Rosa Junior College, which is just right there. And then one day at practice, coach told me that University of Oregon was interested and they're going to send a coach down here to watch me play. And next thing I know, I got a full ride scholarship. And man, I told my mom, she just started crying.
I was telling everybody when he was on TV, you know, I kept his schedule. I was up on it. I'm up on it everywhere he went. I was up on his stats, everything. I'm up on it. So that felt good. While I was at work, I used to tell everybody I used to see. My son gonna be on TV, man. Check him out, that channel, man. If you can't get the channel, come on over. I got it on mine. Oh, it felt good, man. It was first game was really lovely, you know? Just to see him run up that court. It's my son on TV. It felt good.
He's close with a lot of people in my family, you know, just not my immediate family, you know, like Deanna, Antoine, and Robbie, who would just happen to be his kids. He want to talk to Robbie. Robbie just don't want to talk to him. Because he realized some of the things that he didn't do right, you know, and he think he should deserve a chance. Because it don't make sense. Life is too short, you know. Anything can happen to anybody at any day, you know that.
I won't let my family push me away. Because you got to, like I say, you got to give what the person is today. Don't go back in his past. If he's trying and he's showing you something and you showing him something, let the past go. Apologize about it. Let's start all over fresh.
It was good to have all my family there and stuff like that. You know, everybody come down and say what's up. It was really nice to see everybody and my family from San Francisco. Everybody come in, and it's just good to have everybody, you know, that you miss. My dad going to the game is just kind of like how I feel, you know, how I've always felt for a while. It's kind of just like whatever. I don't care if you come or not. I'm more excited. I get to play in front of my mom and my brother. Basically, I had Robbie, and I really didn't see him grow up too much, you know. But when I came home and around him and out that life, matter of fact, that life I'm talking about is jail. You know what I'm saying? If it don't get to you all the way, that's what it means. I've been doing time about 22, 21 years they had of my life from away from my kids. You know what I'm saying? As growing up as a father figure around them. He's got his own life. I got my own life. You know, if it happened to, you know, come together down the road, then it does. But, you know, at this point in my life, I'm just like, it's just another issue I just don't want to deal with. I haven't seen him before. I want to see how he grew and what he accomplished in. And that's what he accomplished in right now, what he's doing right now today. I want to see for myself. Because I heard it on the phone, but I want to see. If we wasn't talking, whatever, how it felt, I was still there. It didn't bother me. As long as I seen him, it was eye contact. As long as he looked me in my eyes when I caught his eyes, it didn't matter to me. Because I know it was hurting well as I was hurting. So as long as I looked him in his eye, he looked me in my eye, I didn't care what kind of look he gave me, it didn't bother me. I was there at your game. You can't say I wasn't at your game. That's what matters. I was there.
As every kid, you know, you want to succeed. You want to see how far you can go in anything. So, of course, it was high school, then the best college you can go to, and then next step from there is the NBA. So I've gotten a little taste. Was 2 weeks with the Clippers in the preseason. Traveled with them, and, you know, I got a little taste of the NBA, and then stayed there 12 days. Coach called me in and said, you know, I got to let you go. And it turns out that I'm over here in Europe, and, you know, I'm making money doing what I love, and can't complain because I made the choice. I mean, it's fun, and I wouldn't change it for the world, but it is hard work. Pretty much my day is wake up, go to practice, come home, eat something, hopefully take a nap. So, I mean, it's like nonstop. I mean, you don't have the energy to go out and do all the little things that you would like to do. The best countries to play are probably Italy and Spain. They pay for your apartment, all your power, you pay for your telephone, food, gas. They give you a car, they pay your taxes, which is nice. Some countries are better than others. You'll be lucky if you get all your money in Greece or Turkey. Contracts don't really mean anything over here.
I like, of course, players that come from good colleges because they got skills and they got fundamentals, and that's let's say the biggest problem that I faced in the last years is many of young guys came over here. They big athletes, but in terms of of pivot foot, in terms of outside shooting, that's what they really lack. I follow a lot college basketball. I try not to watch guys too good because they go somewhere else. So I try to watch guys that probably are underestimated, guys that fight for every ball, guys that really play hard.
So what do you do next? The season's almost over, so do you have to do anything?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I talked to the coaches. They said they're going to help me, so I'm not really worried about it right now. So I'm just worried about the season.
Are you supposed to go anywhere? Like, are there camps or?
There's a Portsmouth camp on the East Coast, and there's Chicago, but there's no way I can probably get to that. But hopefully, if I get to Portsmouth, I can at least be seen.
And that's for the NBA.
Yeah, I mean.
And if that doesn't work out, what do you do?
Well, I hope there's overseas. There's always going overseas, and that's something I would do, But obviously, I want to try to make the league so I can stay home, stay in the States.
Not exactly looking forward to you running away.
I'm just gonna go play.
I still have school next year.
Yeah, I know.
You run this F-sharp kick. Here we go, all the way through. No stopping for anything.
No
Okay, this
stopping for anything.
Yeah, this is what we've developed. I mean, the ability to go through this. If you miss a note, you have to jump back in.
Yeah.
Come back in.
Well, maybe I should just don't miss a note then.
Yeah, that's the best plan.
The college influence is becoming less and less. If you look at the more recent NBA drafts, so I think I did a study recently in the last 7 that I've been involved in, there's been about an average of 7 out of 29 American-born college seniors that actually played out their college 4 years.
You have to have something you can hang your hat on. You have to be either a drop-dead shooter, an unbelievable rebounder, or a great defender. But those players that just do a little bit of everything, but don't do anything well enough at the NBA level, get lost.
Terrible.
You gotta keep your poker face,
I don't have one.
You have to find one. All trumpet players make a little mistake. But the audience that listens to you, they don't know all that stuff. They're there to listen to music. So you're playing some music, they're enjoying it, but they don't get the same feeling after it if you're unhappy with it. So you got to keep your poker face. They don't know the difference. They don't know this piece.
Basket by Robert Johnson.
Our second senior, the first true power rebound at Oregon in nearly 2 decades. Averaged nearly 8 rebounds, 8 career double-doubles, averaging just over 7 points a game. Today he's accompanied by his mother, DEBORAH Phillips, and his sister, Deanna Johnson, and his nephew, Deshaun Johnson. He'll graduate this summer with a degree in sociology. A big thanks, 6'8" forward from San Francisco, number 3, Robert Johnson.
Regular season's over with. We need to win the Pac-10 tournament, I think, to really get a bid into the NCAA. After last year, that's what I really want to do right now. don't know. I'm just kind of nervous right now, but at the same time, just kind of, you know, ready for it.
It's the Pac-10 tournament, and I'm not able to be there today because I had to work. And it's a really big game because they need to win to move on to the next round.
Back at Staples Center in Los Angeles with 35.7 seconds left on the clock. Oregon with the ball, trailing 74-72. Here's Rid. He'll dribble the ball to the point, pull up for the free ball. Rim off. Didn't get it. Rebound tapped out to Rid. Ducks will have another chance, and that will play for maybe the last shot. Ducks have the shot clock in their favor. Rid throws the ball out to Jackson for three. Yeah, he hit a three! Jackson hits the three. Timeout, Oregon. Oregon lead it 75-74 with 17 seconds remaining. Rid took the three, missed. Then Robert Johnson tipped that out, and then Ridnour went and collected it up near the midcourt circle to set up that last play that puts the Ducks ahead by one. My goodness. It'll come down to the final shot. Make or miss. Young against Andre Joseph. Going to try to take it inside. Running for the baseline. He'll shoot. He will miss it. Ball knocked away. And it'll be out of bounds. Oregon has won it. The clock is run out. Oregon has won the game. Oregon has won the Pac-10 tournament. And that is an NCAA tournament game victory. That's a game that gets you in. Oregon is in. There is no doubt.
March Madness, it's not like in the pros where it's the best of 5 or the best of 7 games. It's one and done. There's a lot of excitement. I think it's the greatest sporting event going. Any team that gets, say, even to the Sweet 16, they're going to be looked at by a lot of different people. And I think the pros get caught up a little bit in the momentum, too, that if somebody comes on and has a great tournament, they really improve their position in the NBA.
What's up, bro?
Hey, Robbie.
Hey, man.
Too bad about the game. I'm glad you made it home.
Crazy to be back, man. Crazy to think that I was just in the tournament the other day, and now I'm back here, you know what I mean? My family here and everything, but, you know, it's people getting their head took off out here, man. It's just crazy to think about. I was in this, and I can see now why I wanted to leave so bad, you know? Not to get away from my boys, but just to get away from this madness, you know? I know that they give up anything they got, man, to get where I am right now, so you got to keep doing it.
Man, this past 3 weeks, Rob, it's been hella crazy up here. Doggy, hella crazy.
Damn.
No break, no motherfucking thing.
Nope, sure don't.
This nigga got hit right there, be right. No, he got hit on the corner. Nigga walk down here dripping hella blood. If you go over there and look, you can probably still see it. Hella blood on the ground. Nigga was just bleeding.
What's up, man? Chilling, man.
I see you, man. What happened, baby?
None.
Man, they got at y'all. They got at y'all this time.
Couldn't hit that last one.
Man, y'all couldn't hit that last one. Ain't nobody been coming out there looking at you?
Nah, yeah, I gotta go home. I gotta wait till I get up to Oregon again so I can see who, you know, any kind of agents talking to me right now.
What's in the mailbox, huh?
My advice to both of them will be make sure they do a nice job of taking time to step back and reflect on the success that they've had here at this institution, and then reflect on what they really want to do. The price they've paid up until this point, is it something they want to continue to do? How driven are they to get there? How much work and how much time are they putting into it into getting there? And if they're giving themselves every opportunity to get there, realistically, if they're giving themselves every opportunity by doing everything they need to do, and it doesn't happen, then that's it. That's it. At least they can feel good about the experiences they've gained and the fact that they've worked so hard to get there, and they can move on with their lives.
When you graduate from college, first of all, finish your schoolwork. I've seen so many guys that didn't. They started getting ready for the NBA and they neglected that last semester's work, and it became a waste. So finish your schoolwork. At the same time, spend a lot of time working out. And your conditioning is so important. You've got to be in great shape. And if you're lucky enough to get into Portsmouth first, which then will lead to Chicago, I think that those are things you have to go unless you're guaranteed a first-round spot by an NBA team. And then you have to get in the summer leagues, and you have to try to make a summer league roster so you can be seen again if you're not drafted, and be seen as much as you possibly can. And but you better be prepared to be seen. You better be prepared through your strength training and conditioning, because that is such an important time in your career.
If this is really what you want to do, first of all, you have to be able to endure and persevere. Then second, you have to work. And you have to work every day. Every minute, every second, every hour that you don't work, somebody else is working. So you need to make sure that you maximize your time on the court as far as being prepared, working on all your weaknesses every day. You can't take a Saturday or Sunday off to go hang out or what have you, because if you do that, you have 5 other kids that are not taking that time off, and they're practicing and preparing to be better than you are.
I'm just waiting to talk to Coach Kent. And so he was like, well, I know he's trying to get you into the Portsmouth camp. I was like, well, it was April 12th. And I was like, well, it's all going on right now. So he's like, oh yeah, I thought it was next week. They're not trying to sell me as far as playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? I'm just left in the dark, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tough.
It's a big letdown after the draft when you aren't drafted, because most of these guys may not get drafted. We only draft 58. We expect 20 guys to come from Europe. We have underclassmen. We have All-Americans. Everybody thinks, yeah, they're going in the first round.
A lot of great athletes out there, and a lot of them want to play in the NBA. I know that a lot of you guys are putting all your eggs maybe in just one basket of playing professional basketball. It can be accomplished, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. You're going to have to work harder than you ever worked in college. The next level is just brutal because it's all business. It's all business.
I have the opportunity to invite a lot of players. I advise these people who to bring here, and so all of the NBA teams come, because I don't care how many times you see a guy in college, you never see him play against good players most of the time. And that's where I brought Scottie Pippen and John Stockton. The who's who of basketball has played here.
65, 70 players from all around, and they're trying to get one goal, the scouts to see them and to make it to the NBA. That's what they're there for, and that's what I was there for.
Let's face it, you got 200 or 300 NBA people going to be here in the next 3-4 days. People come from all over the world.
You know, Rob's at that point where I think it's the most difficult part of an athlete's life. It's the separation between being on stage and now just kind of blending into the community. I mean, it's a very difficult transition period for athletes at all levels, but especially at this level where he's had great success, our team's had great success, big stage, a lot of spotlight, and now to walk away, it goes by so fast. And now reality is here. He is a regular workforce person.
It's crazy after, because it's like, what do? You know, you just sit around and wait and hope something comes up. You know, it's like I'm kind of lost right now. I ain't got no agent right now, and I guess that's how you get a job. I don't know. Coaches recruiting, I mean, that's what they do. And it's almost crunch time, man. I got no agent. Not like I got a tryout or nothing like that, man. I gotta just do stuff for myself, man. Scary part about it, I don't even know where to start.
We hope that our system has prepared him for a career outside of basketball, and the first step in that is he's got to earn his degree, which if he does everything on schedule this summer, he will graduate at the end of the summer. And then at that time, he may or may not have some chances to play over in Europe professionally.
Right now, I'm sitting here and I don't know what's going to happen with basketball. I don't know if I'll ever play another game again. You know, I hope so, but you never know. But the thing is Coach Duncan's gotten me an interview Monday with a mortgage guy that deals with mortgage rates and things like that, and he's helped me out beyond basketball. You know, he's tried to find me other options.
You know, college, everything kind of was given to you when you played basketball. You know, everything was going great, and you know, you had, you know, coaches there for you, but now you're independent and you're free, and it's a lot more pressure because you have the real world now.
As kids get out of college, the intangibles that Robert brings to the game, or that any player brings to the game, sometimes get lost, and it's all about pure talent.
He's a small power forward, and he's pretty good in college, but in the NBA, you're going to have to play Karl Malone, and Johnson can't play Karl Malone. He's a guy that's a very good college player. He can rebound, he can block out, but he's limited offensively.
I think in many cases, a lot of these kids that come here will end up playing in Europe somewhere, because this is one of the most selective leagues of all. Each year, only about 35 kids make the NBA, and all the thousands of kids that play, a lot of them think they're good enough to play at this level, and they simply aren't.
The typical phrase that he's too short to play in the NBA is the kind of player that works in Europe.
I happen to think that NBA players are born genetically. Unfortunately, it's such a rare breed of cat. And if you're not born into that genetic wonder kind, so to speak, where you have the physical abilities, I don't want to see you wasting your time.
You got to have talent. You got to work at what you do, apply yourself. You got to have heart. You got to work at it, and you got to want to win. Those are the things that make people, not only in professional basketball, but it makes them in everything you do. In Portsmouth every year, what happens is there are a lot of kids that the scouts will say, he's not big enough. He's a two guard, he's 6'2", he's not big enough. Or he's a power forward and he's undersized. Or whatever position. Don't let people tell you you can't realize your dream. So if you've got the heart, if you've got the work ethic, if you've got the toughness, don't give up. because there's a spot for you someplace.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. I got a workout with the Blazers on Saturday. So. They gonna bring me up there on Friday night and put me up in the hotel, and I gotta work out from like 11 to 2 or something like that. So, this ain't no audience. You ain't gotta clap for me. But yeah, so. But hopefully I can get on.
It's a start. It's a start. You know?
Yeah, hopefully I can get on their get on their summer league team and then tryouts, and there'll probably be some agents and stuff there too. So I don't know.
All you can do is just keep dreaming.
Yeah. Me and my brother always got this bond, you know. Every time I'm home, you know, even when I was at JC, even in high school, you know, when we come home, and we just always play, you know, it's always competition. And it's just a bond we have. We play to 100 points. It's so long. I always win, but, you know, it's good, you know. It's just kind of like, it's our thing, you know, it's something we have. It's cool because, you know, it's our thing, and, you know, I don't think nobody else do that as far as around our house. So it's just me and him on the court by ourselves. I'm just happy to be here. It's crazy. I'm so nervous right now. Portland, it's here. It's kind of my time to show. You know, I wish I would actually knew in advance. I probably worked out a lot more. It's been sitting around, so.
As you climb that ladder, your time to shine decreases immensely, and you better be able to perform when they're watching. We got him a tryout with the Portland Trail Blazers for 2 days. Then it's on him. How did he perform at that? Was he in the best shape he could be in? Has he been, you know, playing all spring and working out all spring and preparing for that? You know, that's what we try and educate our players about.
What's up, man? Not too good. Because I didn't do very well. I'm out of shape.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NBA Draft. The first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft will be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have 5 minutes to make this selection.
The perception is that NBA is only looking for, you know, the next starter, and there is some truth in that. You're evaluating the player's overall ability. The reality of it is that the majority, 90% of the players in the NBA are role players.
Just like everybody else, you know, your dream is to hear your name called. And so even though I wasn't, you know, supposed to be picked and nothing like that, I knew I wasn't. You know, it's tough.
You know, I always feel sorry. I have for years. Feel sorry for guys that are seniors, because it's the higher level you play at in college, the harder it is to divorce yourself from that. That's the bad part about competitive athletics at a high level, is that when it's over, it's a hard fall for not only college athletes, but especially the pro athletes and those players that have had a taste of it, and then all of a sudden they're thrown out the door, and you know, they're in the real world, and there's nobody there to pick them up, to encourage them. That's just one of those things in life you got to work through yourself.
First number is 74.
I haven't talked to Robbie lately. He's been a little disappointed since the season ended.
6
65.
He don't call me when he get upset because he think I'll get upset, you know. But I just told him, just hang on in there, you know, everything's going to be out, it's going to work out fine for him.
E14. Bingo! Bingo at 14.
Anderson for the slam! Oh, my goodness! Right down the middle and a slam, good pass. Timeout, Newman. Johnson. Slams it home. Alley-oop. Saw that one coming.
Basically what it comes down to, and what I was telling them over in Italy, is if you don't put up numbers, it doesn't matter how good your agent is. I mean, if you go over, I mean, if you get a shot, you gotta shoot that bitch. You gotta have one thing. Like me, mine was rebounding. You gotta have one thing out there. Say, okay, I'm gonna get every defensive rebound, because that's the easiest job over there, just getting defensive rebounds. If you think I'm gonna get 10, 11 rebounds, in 3 years you'll be making $400,000. Like this year, I should be making $300,000. Agents, if there's someone playing basketball and there's potential to make money, they'll find it. So now, if you wanted me to find some numbers for you, I could, people that are good, I can find those for you also.
That'd be cool if you can do that for me.
Yeah. If he can still play, there's a lot of opportunities for him. Get an agent. He certainly can play somewhere. Try the DL League, try the CBA. Go to Europe, go anywhere you can practice your skills, but you got to remember, there's no big boat going to Europe. You better be able to play. You better be able to play defense.
I think that any American college player think that they are able to play in overseas, and it's absolutely wrong. It's so difficult to get the level to play in overseas that I think nobody thinks about the degree or about the grades that they are doing, and they just kept thinking about they can be professional easily.
Get in your mind not only vertical spacing but also linear. All right? Your team. I should be in line with this guy right here. Okay? Come on, let's go. Look like a team.
As a basketball club right now, we're looking, obviously, to increase our player pool. We're not looking for necessarily guys that can just score points, because we know where our points are going to come from during the regular season. The way we like to play the basketball game requires a lot of skill, but beyond that, you have to be able to conceptualize. When he doesn't have a shot, what does he do? Does he understand how, once again, to keep the offense flowing? Can he do other things besides just score points? So once again, we're looking for a more well-rounded player.
If you walk out here, he's going to beat you 2 out of 10 times. It's a slide. It's a step, boom, it's a slide.
We had Bennett last year on our basketball club. In fact, we brought him back to a veteran camp. And right now, Bennett shows us flashes of being able to be successful. He has a great athletic body. He has wonderful athleticism, but he needs to show, once again, his ball handling skills, his ability to make decisions, his ability to rebound, play defense across the board.
The numbers keep dropping dramatically from high school to college to the NBA. You keep paring it all down. There's fewer and fewer job opportunities for those players to play basketball. There's scouts from all over the world. There's scouts from minor league teams. There's scouts from all the different levels and divisions over in Europe. There's CBA here, NBDL, as well as all the NBA teams are looking at players.
Rob was recommended, I guess, by one of the NBA people that I knew. He'd gone to an NBA camp, and one of the coaches of the club called me about him, gave him my number. We made contact, and that's how we hooked up. So we have to first put a resume together for him, get that out to the people that I work with around the world, and now I'm just starting to get his films out to people where I think that we could find a job for him. The players think that they can move at their will, or that, you know, people are after them, and believe me, the first offer that we get that's halfway legitimate, he's on the plane and gone, because I'm not going to gamble that if he wants more money that we can make another $500 a month. My thing with him is to get him out, get him working in a place that he can be a dominant player. It's not the money he can make this year, it's where the position is that he can lead himself down the road, and this is a process.
The element of luck is a huge ingredient. Being in a situation where the skills that you have as a basketball player are needed by that particular team, understanding how you fit in and the chemistry, all those things are huge factors. You know, and so that's in addition to having the talent, because a lot of young men have the talent to play, but because of the things I just alluded to, they're at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they don't have that opportunity to exhibit those skills.
You know, Bennett is kind of a tweener. You know, he could play on an NBA team, but the likelihood is he can be a star in Europe. So, you know, he's got to ask himself, does he want to be a premier player in Europe or a marginal player in the NBA?
After going to the camps and seeing the meat market that it was, I mean, the first years they were just bringing people in just to improve their camps, with really no intention of signing them unless you just had a spectacular camp.
People that we see come up through the ranks in college, we see as very, very good. And then some people say what happened to them, and it's just very difficult to be the best in your profession. And the NBA is truly the best 400-some players in the world. So guys who are stars in college that we can't fathom why they don't make it, it's because it's just a very elite profession. It's really a very harsh business, because you're told over and over again if you're a fringe player that you're not good enough. And those that can really withstand rejection, not get cynical and bitter, have a chance to find their way into the league after a couple of years.
It's what I feel is the best situation. You know, the Lakers just signed Malone and Luke Walton and Brian Cook, so this is the way the cookie crumbles. It seems like it's every year I get put in a situation where there's opportunities, but then, you know, they just go with other people before I get there. You know, that's the way basketball happens. The NBA is more of a business, and it's about timing and luck and the right situation, and, you know.
Hey, Mom. I'm just chilling. Everything cool, but Mom, I talked to my agent today, and I got a job like a little while ago, or he talked to me about a job actually. Yeah. In Austria? No, Mom. Austria, not Australia. Austria. I was just happy to be going somewhere, you know, just to be traveling. So I was like, yeah, I'll take the first thing that came, you know. Let's just get me out of here and going somewhere, you know. So I was just happy. As soon as they saw the tape, they gave him a call and asked about me, and they wanted me. Harry, this is Robert. Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in good shape.
The big thing with Rob is he's got to show he can score. He averaged 8 points a game his senior year. I think he's capable of a lot more, and they'll expect a lot more from the offensive end from him. And that's one of the things that he's got to do if he wants to move into the upper levels of European basketball. He's got to become a good scorer along with his fine rebounding and defensive prowess. And if you play well, you stay. If you don't play well, you're gone. But it's nice to give him an opportunity and grow with him and see how far you can take him in regards to a pro basketball career. Not everything has to end up in the NBA.
All right, bro. See you when you get up here, man. All right. My family, everybody's coming up for my graduation. I'm excited because, you know, some of my boys haven't been out of the city, and they're going to be acting crazy up here, so it's going to be real fun.
We going to miss you, man. We don't want you. We going to miss you.
Being a basketball star,
nothing.
You know, walking out, all the girls screaming your name.
It is tough. That's all I have to say.
Big Rob Johnson.
fanning them off you, pushing them away. No, no. Man, ain't that the American
I'll be
dream?
like, yes.
It's always great to have my boys there, and it's always good to get them off the block. And I just like to show my brother, another life. So hopefully I can get them ready for things to come in the future.
Oh, crossing. If you could rewind that one time, my man, look at it, you just crossing something stupid. Ooh. Rewind.
Do you think it's gonna change when you go over that? When you go overseas? Going back to that.
Going back.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's gonna be a big difference.
Someone got a passport.
You got it?
Finally. I was just ready to go over to the post office too.
I'm not slept in 2 days. I can't leave.
Look hot. See?
Cool. I told her it's a good thing that you smile.
Every time he goes anywhere, I don't know, I want to be around because I don't know how long he'll be gone, if it's 6, 8 months, whatever. That's really hard. It's been about 2 years, so I know I'm going to be a wreck because he's definitely been pretty much my life around here.
Okay. You too. Huh.
What is he?
Just like he's trying to hear back from the team. He said, I'm definitely leaving on the 18th, but there's no when.
Oh. I don't like it if you have to go overseas, but it's okay.
Would you rather him not?
Yeah, but I know that's what he want to do, and don't let me hold you up from that. Just because I say I would rather not. That's his life. It's a grown man.
But I look forward all to it. Him walk across that stage, holding that diploma or throwing that hat up. That's a blessing. Man, it feel good. I won't feel good till I see it all happen. I think it'll really get me then.
My mom did talk to me about, him going to the graduation, stuff like that. My mom always saying, you should forgive in your heart. And, things happen, and you never know when people are going to be around for long. And so you don't really want to have that on your chest at all. And so I asked him to my graduation. It wasn't too tough for me, but I knew deep down inside I didn't want it to happen. But I also, on the other hand, I kind of wanted it to happen.
I don't even know right now. I couldn't even tell you that. But first thing is I love him, though. You feel what I'm saying? I love him, and I know I say I miss you. That'd be the first thing come out my mouth. Congratulations, you graduated. The rest, I think the conversation will pick up where we start off right there. Which one say whatever first.
When it didn't happen, when it didn't show up, for whatever reason, it's just kind of like, oh well, I still got my family there, It's kind of like you can only open the door so much. You can take a step, if somebody else doesn't take a step towards you, then, as long as you try, that's all you can do.
Any player that's playing overseas, that's making the money they're going to make from the low levels to the upper levels, it's better than going to work for a living. And they're doing something that they love for a salary, a car, usually an apartment, and it's a great situation for them.
don't be shy. No one cares about the naked body in here. You know?
And one.
Look to me, look to me, look to me, look to me.
Want me to look mean?
So everything okay?
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Flight was good. Not too long.
Ooh, long. It was long. I can't lie to you about that. It was long. It was long. Cool, though. Well, we got practice at 8, so you can relax then.
Hey, you guys come on over and meet everybody. Okay, everybody, take time to introduce Mr. Robert.
We saw Rob against Kansas. After 5 minutes, this is a pussy team. We definitely needed somebody that's a warrior. And we saw him against Kansas, and we seen he wasn't shooting the ball. He sealed so well defensively, got low. So I said, well, I think a guy that athletic can score.
Okay, guys, I don't care how talented you are. These guys bust their butt. If you can't get that mentality, you don't belong here at Klagenfurt. The last thing before we get started, if you're going to be a good professional, don't be thinking about last year, don't be thinking about next year. This year is the most important job you'll ever have. And this is important for me, it's important for the players. So this is the job you got to really concentrate on right here.
I was in the military. I was working in the States coaching for about 5 years. And then I went into the military for 3. And one of the things I did for the ship was do basketball clinics. So I met some people when I was doing clinics, and they asked to come back. There's a lot of good American coaches come over here and they get fired because, you need luck. I got a chance to start out in Italy and work also with a really good coach. And he really showed me the difference between the American mentality and the European.
Push slip, and just go down. Push slip, keep your hands up. Go.
When they bring you over, they do not like to let you go. Sometimes you do have a 2-week tryout period, which he would get paid for, but that 2-week period allows them, if I told him he was one type of player and he comes in as another type of player, or sometimes, many times, they don't really know what they want, so you send a player over and we need a different type of guy. So it's a two-way street, but when you go there, you've got to be ready to play, and you've got to dominate the first week or 10 days you're there so that they want to keep you on the squad.
Austria is a lower type level. There's some countries lower, but it's definitely lower middle. It's not low, it's not the Luxembourg or Switzerland, but it's not Italy and Spain, Greece.
First day here, just come home from practice and I got no power in the damn room, no phone to call nobody. Now I wouldn't have a number anyway to call anybody, so just go by the office tomorrow and try to find that. I don't even know where that is. This is like the longest trip I ever had, so it doesn't really feel, like I'm really in a different country right now. Except for like the language, stuff like that, but just as far as like being that far away from home, it hasn't really hit me yet.
Hallo Gerhard, du, ich will noch nicht dazukommen, aber jemand wünscht dich, gell?
You heard? Hey, it's Robert.
Besides players and coaches, there are 4 people employed by the club doing the marketing stuff. We got a secretary. She's in charge of, organizing all the little things. Then we got Patrick. On the one hand, he's a player. On the other hand, he takes care of many little things that have to be organized. And the gym guy is also part of the club.
Hey, what happened to the power too, man? The power at the house?
First year is when you get homesick and stuff, because it's going to happen. A lot of times that's why the Americans stick together. It's not a bad thing, but we have things in common. And I've talked to Rob a little bit, encouraged him, like, when you do feel down a little bit, don't sit there by yourself. Make sure you call someone up, say, hey, I need, it's not a pride thing. Hey, we all need someone to hang out with, just so I'm not alone, I feel like I'm at home or something.
The language, the food, the way people communicate, just to be able to watch TV, or the sense of humor. You're in the States, we got our own sense of humor. The culture is a big, big change. Language, always listen to German or Slovakia, whatever you're going to.
No, not alles. Alles.
Parla inglese?
Para inglese? Do you speak English?
Yes. No.
Si, no.
Si. No.
At the Lakers, it was disappointing because I was going in there expecting to get some playing time. But they drafted Luke Walton. Luke's a small forward also. So it was kind of he got the playing time because they've already invested money into him. And the other players that are playing behind him are kind of assed out, basically putting it. So that's why I signed the contract, so I can sit back, relax a little bit, collect my thoughts, and take care of business around home. I'm happy with the situation. I can make a good career over in Europe, and I'm happy traveling the world and being in Italy.
And I want you getting low. Now I want you bringing it here, chin it up with the elbows out. So when I pivot, it's a half a pivot. Half a pivot. I don't want that finger to come over and smack. But hey, we want to get that reputation off of us. That pussy reputation. Get aggressive. Quick.
Here, you got a certain amount of players. You might go to a team and have 6 players, 7 players. And you got to try to develop more. You can't say, well, this is all he can do, so this is all he can do on the court.
Many players from the States, they would go in Europe, develop, and come back in NBA. We follow all of that. We are following them through the college. When they finish college, going in Europe, then you follow them just to see how they develop.
That's reopening that Studio 74.
Too fast.
That's reopening that Studio 74.
One more time.
That's reopening the Studio 74.
One last time.
Hey,
that's
picture yourself. I mean, they're going to play this as the DJ. Picture you're the DJ in the
Yeah.
crowd. But this is how you're saying it. You're saying,
Right.
saying it with a little bit of flavor.
Right.
This is studio, like you would as you were a DJ,
Yeah,
right?
You're right, right. But don't scream. It's just,
Yeah.
that's reopening the Studio 74.
Try to be cool. I know it's hard for you.
That's reopening that Studio 74.
Now, hard part. Am Samstag, dem 27. September.
Break it down for him.
Robert, I think it was John and Mark. You guys did an excellent job what you did with the sponsors, and that's big for us. So we appreciate that, and that's something we got to keep up. There was a guy, Jasmine. He was supposed to go, but he didn't call nobody, nothing. He didn't go. And that fucking shit will not happen. And I don't want to hear bullshit about if they ask you, you go with a smile on your face. And even if you don't like it, you fucking better smile like you like it. Because I'm going to tell you this. I'm so sick and tired. We don't do shit all day. We got training in the morning, training in the evening, you sleep all afternoon. You got a great life. These guys are the ones giving you the money. So, hey, You don't want to bitch about the money. I don't want to hear any bitch about anything else, okay? And I want everybody to stop this complaining. It ain't a bad life, guys, believe me. I'll take your ass over to Eastern Slovakia, and then you'll be happy your ass is in Austria, okay?
This has been sort of a dream, especially the last few years when it started to become a reality that, you know, New Zealanders could play in Europe.
I saw Judd playing in the World Championship games against United States and against... that's why I said we can't get a point guard better than Judd, especially for that money, no one.
Like since day one, when I first arrived here, the groin injury started to give me a little bit of bother as the practices started to get harder and a lot more intense.
Judd, he's in the tryout. You know, he's 28. This is his one shot. And he's an excellent player. I think, you know, he'll make it if he's mentally strong. You know, just like you don't want to get injured, he got injured right off the bat. That hurts him a little bit.
We're not taken care of like a Division I team, but we don't get the medical treatment, you know, the trainers and the ice. You have to learn to take care of your own body.
They are pampered over there and spoiled. And then they come over here, you have one coach, and he's the trainer, he's the everything. And, you know, like last night, his wife, hey, give this guy a massage because he can't walk no more.
Just little things like hot tubs, ice tubs, things that in the NBA we used to being able to go right after practice, jump in an ice tub or get in a hot tub and things like that. I know where I'm playing now, it doesn't exist.
Wunderbar. Wir haben nur zu wenig Gläser, bitte. Schleppe sieht man viel zu wenig. Also, einen Krug brauchen wir noch. Wo ist der Schleppe? Krug noch, bitte. Das brauchst du, das kannst du wegtun.
Ja, ich kann eins holen. Ich kann eins holen.
Hey, get the old guy.
Super.
Okay.
Wow. What? Your mom is carried and something happened to you, to the little boy.
She searched everywhere.
I mean, you just went 22, you know?
She called someplace up and they started speaking German. She got hella mad. She was cussing like hell. She's like, I don't know how to
She was
speak
just
German.
calling the basketball federation, the basketball league. She was calling us. She was calling the agent.
She called
You
everywhere.
know,
She called
they all called me.
She called the Portland Trail Blazers. She called my agent. She called everybody in Oregon. She called all over. It's so crazy. She called like 4 teams in Austria.
And you know what that tells me? So much. She knows how to push through, and I hope you got that skill too, you know? If you really want something,
she can find me on
if she wants to talk to you, she does everything.
I've been trying to get a hold of Robbie for the past 4 days.
Oh, 72.
He haven't called me anything, you know, since he's been down in Austria. It was hard trying to get in contact with him up there in Oregon. Now it's double hard trying to get in contact with him in Austria. I wish he would have just stayed here for cheaper money instead of going way out there.
G, 47.
I was in the ABA waiting for a call-up or, you know, a deal overseas, and I went to Poland. The team was kind of struggling with money, and it was kind of a different program, you know, compared to Arizona. It was just kind of a shady program. But I learned a lot. I had a good experience over there. But in the back of my mind when I was over there, I kind of wanted the team to get rid of me, and I was like, okay, I'll take my money. I'm out of here. I want to go back to the sun. Yeah, it's kind of a up and down year, you know. It's been a really roller coaster. One of those times where you just sit back and just pray to God. That's about it.
I know I said passing, when we get played, the more Eric pushes Robert, the better he gets, the more you come out here and try to pace yourself in practice. I believe in this. Fuck practice. Get out here and we'll get something out of it. We'll run fucking suicides 2 hours. But if you sit out there and you try to be buddies all practice and try to loaf so you get your paycheck and you don't have to work, you're going to run your dick off. Ready? Go.
You know, Americans come right out of college, they've been spoiled, especially the big D ones. They get treated like kings over there. Then they come over here, they're playing in small crowds, small gyms. You know, they're getting yelled at, they're getting treated like the other guy. And it's very hard for them to handle that. You know, the Australian, New Zealand guys, they come here and they're like, hey, I thank God I got a job, because they know what it feels like to work 8 hours, 10 hours a day like most normal people.
Just to make this initial, get my foot in the door, I guess it's about holding that spot and just seeing how far you can go, you know. You always want to keep looking forward. You don't want to be satisfied for where you're at. You always want to be setting new goals and stuff. And this is one goal that's halfway there at the moment.
But I want to see what he can do under mental pressure. You know, physical, I'm not worried about Judd physically, but I like to, you know, see how much a player can handle. Hey, you got to chew out a guy once in a while. And then you see how he handles it, you know. If he responds well, Judd's responding real well, you know. Hey, you're going to get cut, you're going to get sent home, and it'll make you stronger. And I'm hoping that's what it does to him. And then sometimes I sit and take Judd and say, you know, don't let nobody take your dream. You know, it's your dream, so it's up to you.
I'm starting to get nervous. I'm sitting there writing practices, and I'm going, God damn, it's almost September, and we haven't had a team practice. I don't know what Judd can do. I don't know if I'm going to send him home or I'm going to keep him. You know, I don't know if he can play.
A lot of them are not used to any kind of pressure or criticism. The Austrians might say, he's no good. Because, you know, if they lose, they're not going to say they're no good.
To be either you or them if the team isn't doing well. And I understood that coming in. You know, I understood that if things are sweet, you get treated like a superstar. But if things go bad, you got to understand that you are the first person to go.
You got 5 or 6 teams a year that say, hey, you know, we want to win a championship. You know, after a couple games, they're 2-1, 3-2, something like that, and they're expecting for that money 5-0. Well, with 5 teams, it's not going to happen. So they just start cutting players in and out. You know, there's no such thing as a guaranteed contract in Europe. They can always send you home. What are you going to do? You're going to get a lawyer here and go through that.
If a player says, I got a no-cut contract, I say, okay, then I'll just run you until you ask to get out of it, you know, or something. Because most players are not mentally tough enough. So you say, okay, you got no cut. You're not helping the team. You're not working hard. We just run at 11 o'clock at night, 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and after a while, he'll be begging. Judd, you still feel it?
Yeah, I still feel it.
Even with the rest?
Yeah. It's just, like, I never can really tell unless I get going. You know, like yesterday before practice when you asked me, I said, yeah, I think it's good. And then as soon as it started, it kind of felt sore, and then it just got worse.
I sit, put that cream like, I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know.
It's been hard to get a hold of Rob lately. He's gone a lot. He doesn't really call back all that often. I think he's in practice, and they travel a lot and training, and I don't know what they do because I haven't been there. So they keep him apparently really busy, and he sounds really tired, and I'm not too sure what he's doing.
It could be that it wasn't paid, you know. So we don't pay it deliberately, you know. It must be something like this. I can't believe why it's different like this. There's nothing I can do, I'm afraid. Yeah, we have to call the guy around the house. But there's electricity everywhere else.
Everywhere else.
Yeah, they shut it off then.
Yeah, which means they shut it off. Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Sorry. Oh, please wait.
The guys who just finished the college and they came here, they need 1 or 2 years in Europe to get adapted on the way of living mostly. But those things are not so hard, I think. If they don't get homesick and things like that, which always do. It's of course, they're young and first time of home.
I'm Mr. Torritos.
care. I miss OHOP more than I miss El Torito's. I miss Rennie's burgers more than I miss El Torito's. Damn it, you're making me so hungry right now.
You know, that you got a certain amount of Austrians. The Austrians got to play. If you don't play the Austrians, you're going to get fired as a coach. At the same time, you got to win the championship. They got a saying over here I learned from my first year coaching. Everybody tells you when they hire you, we don't want to win the championship. That's not our goal. But just don't lose any games.
Everybody line up, hurry up.
These doctors are terrible over here.
Yeah, you can't just listen to doctors.
I mean, this is like, come on. I'm like, I ain't never seen a guy that hurt that. Now I think it's mental. You know, from him saying, oh, take it a little easier, slow. I keep him on offense for a couple of days and won't even make him play D, but I just need him at least out there. I mean, the team, they're looking at him like, what the hell, you know, and now I hear people, you know, they're going to start saying, we don't have a point guard.
He's going to be all right. He'll be fine. I got faith in Joe.
You just get that thing ready. You don't, it feels like shit still, huh?
No, it's...
You can't even run on it. It's feeling better, feeling better. You can't even run on it. How's it feeling better?
Well, I mean, it's just... You know, I'd already gone past the stage of trying to tell the coach that, you know, I was a bit hurt. You know, he was asking me every practice, you know, how's the legs? Are they good? They're ready to go? And I wanted to say, you know, the truth. I wanted to tell him that, you know, no, they don't feel that good. But being in the position I was, knowing that my job was on the line, I felt like I had to tell him what he wanted to hear.
You know what the secret of being a great pro is? The secret of being a great pro is love the place you're at. And don't worry about tomorrow. Don't love where you were. A lot of young guys come in and they're thinking about Oregon. They're thinking about last year. Or they're thinking about New Zealand. Or the World Championship. All that shit is bullshit. Because you know what? These people here don't know damn Oregon. And they don't know the World Goddamn Championship. You understand?
The last game I played wasn't that great. It was, you know, for my own personal performance, it was not too good to look at, and I guess in the team's eyes, you know, something had to be done. The game was close, and it was a team that we should have won. We should have beaten and won comfortably. You know, he was making hints during the game, which wasn't helping me out a little bit at all. But he told me more or less straight after the game. We were walking towards the change rooms, and he just said, you know, I have to let you go. And I said, I think I remember saying to him, I said, yeah, you know, I was agreeing with him because I knew my body was just not up to scratch. While it was disappointing, because I knew that it was something that I had wanted for so long, and my confidence was that I knew that if I was 100% right, I could have played in that competition, in that league, and done the job that they wanted me to do. It was just the circumstances that, you know, was just getting out of hand.
You know, at times I think if you come in here and you get a reputation as, hey, he's a little crazy, and, you know, sometimes you got to act crazy, like I said, to keep a step ahead, but you still can coach your way. You know, I love these guys, you know, and I really appreciate the effort they do, you know, and it's still about the kids. And it hasn't become such a big business, you know, when I went back and tried to work in the States. It's such a business, it's slime, you know, and I think a lot of good coaches have gotten out of coaching. And I think it's a lot of the money keeping a lot of guys in, and it isn't about the kid anymore. It's about the money. And I think that's the sad thing, which is still great over here.
We're here, we play one game a week. You know, I have everything paid for. Unless I would be able to go straight to the league with a guaranteed contract, I wouldn't want to fight in the NBDL where you're living in a hotel going from week to week.
Yeah, it's still a dream. It's still, the way I went out has left me still with that burning desire to try and achieve the goal.
Don't give up on your dreams, but you need to be realistic that, one, it's a long shot for anyone to make it. Secondly, one serious injury can end your playing career. So make sure that you're preparing yourself for life without basketball.
I'm just going to focus on basketball and have another career on the side and work on it. And I think that's key. I think that career below basketball right now is going to be a key, because what am I going to do when I'm 38, 39, you know, or 35? If something happens, if I get injured, what am I going to do?
If this is the field you're going to be in, is learn to endure. And that means whether through the good times and through the bad times. Through the times where it looks like you're not getting a fair shake or that you feel that you should be playing more, you have to continue to endure and chase the dream that you want so bad until you personally decide that you can't do it anymore.
Right now, the way he grew up right now, wasn't no advice. It's the advice I should have had and should have been doing, you know what I'm saying? Because I love the sport, and I know I play ball right now, and I'm 42 years old. I'll be out there with them youngsters balling 3 or 4 games. So basically, what he's doing is, man, wish I could have had it and doing what he's doing. That's basically it, man. He watched that TV and them sports for a reason, and he accomplished it.
You sacrifice a lot of stuff, and right now it's my family as far as seeing them and everything like that. You know, it's tough. But at the same time, you're getting paid. You know, I'm doing what I want to do. You know, I'm not in the office right now. I'm not sitting there in a cubicle or something every day. I'm doing what I want to do. You know, as much as I complain about it, I love it. You know, I can give you 1,000 reasons about things that can go, you know, that's wrong with it. But, you know, the realistic part about it is that I'm playing basketball. You know, I know a lot of guys are going to give it right on to be where I am. You know, I'm appreciative for it. As long as I keep working, stuff like that. You know, my goal is always to be in an NBA. You know, I think if I have that as my goal that I can achieve for it, then I will always be ahead of the game. You know, I always want to get there, so hopefully I will. But if I don't, you know, hey, I'm still making money. I'm still playing hoops.